story.
I have two younger sisters. One is 5 years younger than me, and one is 11 years younger than me. I always thought of the one who's 5 years younger than me was just a. We did not get along growing up. But the one who is 11 years younger than me, my little sister Melissa, she was kind of like my baby. So one day we were home and she was just laughing and giggling, having a great time, standing on top of this chair. And my mom and myself, we were home with her. And my mom said, "Get down, get down." Of course, she was like 3 years old, so she didn't get down. And then she fell, and she fell straight on her face. And my mom picked her up and turned her over and started just crying, freaking out completely. My sister was turning blue, so clearly she wasn't breathing. And my little 14-year-old head didn't. I remember I wasn't really thinking. I just automatically took her out of my mom's arms and started breathing into her mouth, which was an interesting thing for me to do. Something that I picked up from my day camp when I was younger. When I was learning how to swim, they taught us CPR, and I guess it sort of stuck with me. So I just started the breathing. I don't know if you could technically call them rescue breaths, but I just breathed into her mouth, and my mom crying, picked up the phone, called 911. The operator couldn't understand what she was saying because she couldn't stop sobbing. And then after about, I don't know how many breaths, less than 10, my sister started coughing, and she started crying again. So she was breathing again, and my mom started sobbing more. So she did manage at that point to get out our address to 911. So they dispatched their ambulance to come over just to make sure, since my sister was completely not breathing for a period of time. They still wanted to come check her out. And then my mom asked me to call my dad at work to get him to come home. So my poor dad, I called him, and I was very serious. And I said, "You need to come home right now." And I remember this. He was like, "Why? What happened?" And I said, Something happened to Melissa. You need to come home right now. The ambulance is on its way." And I didn't tell him anything else. And he just hung up and came home in tears. So I'm so sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I hadn't had that seemingly random CPR training. What if I hadn't had swim lessons? What if I hadn't had that training? Would I still have thought to breathe into her mouth? And I also learned the lesson, when you're calling someone to tell them something is amiss, you should give them a clue as to what's going on and perhaps soften it a little bit. So that's my lesson from that.